Let's take you back to one of the developing stories, and that is around the developments around Brown Mogotsi. Sentleeng Lehihi is SABC News journalist who would have had a number of conversations with Mr. Mokhoatsi. And Sentleeng, of course, a lot of people seized with what has currently, is a scene in Ekurhuleni, and a lot of people trying to piece together what could have possibly happened there. What are people saying there?
Good evening to you and our viewers. In fact, my colleague Sentleeng Lehihi and I have been on what one can describe as a quest for the Mokhoatsi perspective. We have traversed a very small space here in Mahikeng, a radius of less than 5 kilometers, between this small business complex, the tavern that he has some 700 meters from where we stand, his mother's house in Sentleeng, some 2.5 kilometers from where we are. Indeed, this quest has left us with more questions than answers. His mother has said to us, has not answered our phone calls. We have communicated with his niece, and she has also said that until Brown Mogotsi's mother confirms and agrees to speak to us, none of them will engage in any conversation with us. He himself made contact with me and said, in fact, Sentleeng, I was willing to in fact give you a perspective from my personal view, giving you a report with respect to what happened in this attempted assassination, what I have to say regarding the reports and allegations of this said assassination to have been staged. And he said that he will not respond to me because my action going to his home, going to the tavern that he has 700 meters from here, were just simply putting his family and property at risk. He says that he is in fact adamant that the attempt on him are real, and in fact they will not dissuade him or persuade him to move away from any intention to appear before the Madlanga Commission. Now, it is understood from our earlier conversation with our colleagues from the agenda that Mr. Mokhoatsi, in all his engagements with us, has spoken quite loud and clearly about his fears for his life. As you'll recall, 2 weeks ago, this was a hive of activity. Heavily armed task force members came in this area looking for him and trying to, confiscate or attain his devices. But it is unfortunate that at the time he was not around, and he said and reported to many media houses that he had actually been in Johannesburg when this development was happening. But he believed from his perspective that that show of armed force was actually telling of the force that is directed towards him as a threat to his life. Just for a bit of perspective, I'm going to allow you now to see our previous engagement with Mr. Mokhoatsi following the groundbreaking Mokhoatsi press briefing, where he pointed to Mr. Mokhoatsi as someone who is of a questionable character with alignment in syndicates that operate to the disinterest of South Africans and to pursue the interests of politically affiliated members. Allow us to play this now. Finally, you shared with us that currently your safety and security and that of your family has been severely compromised.
Yeah.
How are you managing, and how is it affecting your family as well?
I believe there is a very serious narrative focused on either destroying me or something. They also made a documentary about me, how powerful I am and stuff like that. This morning in Mahikeng, they broke into a very small shop that I've rented out. I have evidence. Yesterday, we were using 3 cars coming from Soweto. And then the car that I used, we actually found it in Soweto, and I was traveling with this person. And I received a call from the guys in 2 different cars saying they were stopped, and I asked them, did they stopped and surrounded? And they were looking inside the vehicle, and they couldn't find me and they left. So I was very worried. I'm hoping that as the president is going to announce, proper measures will be available, and I will also try my level best to be very careful. I can't say I'm coping. I don't know what the intentions of whoever is doing that are.
Now you've heard it for yourself. Mr. Mokhoatsi has made these allegations way before, and he has maintained, even after the task force came into his property here looking for him and his gadgets, that his life is in fact under threat. But we still stand here in Mahikeng, where he actually was born and bred, with many more questions than answers for South Africans. We appeal to those who may have better contact than us to assist us in understanding where do we stand with this said assassination attempt, and will we find the answers that we deserve as a nation with respect to Mr. Mokhoatsi's involvement in these dire allegations. From us here before the Brown Mogotsi Small Business Complex, back to you in studio.
My colleague there, Sentleeng Lehihi, and of course, as you say, ending off there with more questions than answers.